Everyone almost collapsed. What happened to this person? Suddenly become neurotic? Otherwise, why is he suddenly crazy, desperate to eat shit? The teacher yelled at this moment, quickly, get him up and get out. So several people together, just carried him out. As soon as he exited the toilet door, Wu Qi collapsed and shouted, "Let me down, I want to eat shit. Let me down. If I don't eat it, I will die. Please let me down." The entire emergency department of the hospital was boiling. They have seen people with various diseases, but who has seen people who are forced to eat shit? And he's a young and handsome guy. What's the reason? The doctor was also very embarrassed and asked, he just said he needs gastric lavage. Why is he suddenly saying that he wants to eat something like that? They wonder if this person has something wrong with his nerves. How about you taking him to Sanity Lab Hospital, right? When the teacher thought about it, this kind of thing really didn't look like some kind of organ disease. It was estimated that this was a mental problem, so he hurriedly said, let's go to the Sanity Lab Hospital. At this time, Wu Qi was almost crazy. He is now thinking about eating tea, and ready to self-harm if he can't eat it. He keeps slapping himself, seizing the opportunity, kneeling on the ground and hitting the floor with his head. The classmates grabbed him desperately, but he changed. Be even more irritable, and shouted wildly, "You all farking let me go. If you don't let me eat shit, I will die, can't you see?" After that, he started struggling violently. Because of his explosive power, a few classmates didn't hold him down. He broke free all at once, rushed to the toilet quickly. A lot of classmates hurried to catch up, but they were not as fast as him. When everyone rushed to the toilet, he had already pulled out the old master just now and threw him to the ground. He threw himself directly into the toilet and started to stuff his mouth with. Everyone hurriedly stepped forward and dragged him tightly, but he stopped slowly and still didn't stop. The old master didn't even pull up the pants and was scared, and he was shivering on the ground. Someone was frightened by the sight. He immediately took out his phone and took a video, which was posted on Facebook. An eye-opener. Orus Hill People's Hospital has a lunatic who grabs shit and eats. Wu Qi's head teacher and roommates in the same dormitory were almost tortured crazy by him. They resisted the nausea and wanted to send Wu Qi's back to the doctor. The old master who was pulled out of the toilet by Wu Qi and thrown to the floor whimpered, "If your brain is sick, don't let him out. Why is he stealing tea?" The head teacher looked embarrassed and took out his wallet, handed him 500, and said, "Master, this should compensate you for your loss, please forgive me." The old master didn't expect that he could earn 500 in this way. The grievances just now disappeared in an instant. Then he asked with joy, "Well, do you want to next time?" The head teacher retched and said, "Uncle, I don't want it next time. If you don't finish it, please continue to go in." After finishing speaking, he shouted to everyone quickly, get Wu Qi to the doctor." When he arrived at the doctor glanced at him, then vomited all the supper, and blurted out, "I beg you, take him to the mental hospital, we really can't cure this kind of disease." The head teacher said, "Well, somehow, give him a stomach wash, how dirty it is to eat." The doctor was about to cry and said, "I can wash him, but are you not afraid that he will slow down and eat again?" "No matter how I wash this, I have to put the tube in a little bit, I can't stand it. He eats so fast." The head teacher asked some of his classmates, "Is this the second time for him?" "Yes." The same bed hurriedly nodded and said, "It's almost an hour away." The head teacher said, "Then he might have to eat in another hour." Thinking of this, he hesitated for a moment, and blurted out, "Wipe him clean, get in the car, let's go to the Sanity Lab Hospital, otherwise, in case of delay, it will be finished again." Everyone had to endure the nausea, wipe Wu Qi's mouth with a tissue, and then walked out with him in a daze. As soon as he got in the car, Wu Qi came back to his senses, feeling a strange nausea in his mouth, and couldn't help asking, "What happened to me?" A sleeper sitting next to him asked in surprise, "Don't you remember?" Wu Qi shook his head and said, "I don't remember, I just remember that I had a headache just now, and my mind was buzzing." After speaking, Wu Qi put his hand to his mouth, he sighed, and instantly he was almost fainted. He blurted out and asked, "What's the situation? Did I eat that thing again?" Sitting in the dormitory of the front co-pilot, the old third turned around and said, "Boss, we couldn't stop you with all our hard work just now. You rushed into the toilet and took an old master." The bedmate sitting next to Wu Qi hurriedly said, "Hey, don't talk about it." "Oh." The youngest realized that this fact was a bit disgusting, so he closed his mouth with interest. Wu Qi hurriedly asked, "What the hell is going on? Tell me clearly." Everyone looked at each other. No one wanted to describe the terrible devil scene just now, and even thinking about it, it felt disgusting. Wu Qi shouted with a dark face, "Darn! You guys can't tell me." The voice roared out, and the whole car was immediately stinking.